So you kind of hate this top 10 thing. Because you're always like, why the top 10? Like, it never changes. We did this before.
Right.
What? But it's kind of become the stick of the channel to talk about top 10s.
That's right.
So we got to share our own.
Yeah. I mean, you could just go back and watch last year's, but sure, let's do this again. No, there are some changes.
Yes, I'm sure there are.
They're minor, but there are some.
What's happening, party people? Welcome to Punch More Party. My name is Daniel. This is Father Greg, and this is another top 10 board games of all time ever. And this time, it's Father Greg's turn. Because we figured that we've been doing a lot of our friends and things, and now it's like, well, let's at least get ourselves in the mix.
That's right. Every year it's become like, I don't know, a New Year's tradition of like re-ranking my board games and just kind of, this time it took me up until May before I got them all ranked. But hey, whatever. It takes 6 months of the year. Let's do it.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
That's right. I got a lot of board games to rank.
Yeah, that's right.
Time-consuming process. But yeah, these are the top 10. There's no question about them. So
yeah,
it's just
objectively the best board games of all time.
That's right.
Ever.
That's right.
Okay, let's just get into it.
All right. Number 10. This is a game I've not played in a long time, but I
just
love
got
it.
up there.
I love this game. Every time I think about it, I think this game is so neat. That is Lowlands.
Whoa. You do love Lowlands.
I don't know. That central mechanism of like, I like games with like a little bit of like a seesaw mechanism where it's like you want to do this thing, but and you keep doing it. Now all of a sudden it's like, okay, go over here now. Now you kind of want to do this thing. It's like, you're building the dike. Okay, now return back to your farm. Make some more sheep.
Yes.
Protect them. Build some fences. Then you start building your fences. It's like, oh, that water's getting pretty high. You better focus on building the dike again. So you go back to building the dike. And then you're like, now my sheep need feeding. And so you go back and try to multiply your sheep again. And just that push and pull and like that sense of the game hinges upon whether the dike bursts or not.
Yeah.
If the dike doesn't burst, then you are gold with all your sheep. Like, nobody cares.
Yeah.
You've been solo working on your farm. You haven't done a damn thing to protect the dam, but everybody else has. You're just happy. If that dam bursts, all your sheep are dead. Like maybe you have 3 left. And it's just, and then everyone's going to blame you because you did nothing to work on the dam.
Right.
And it's all your fault. So yeah, just that little push and pull. I just, every time I think about this game, I always think, I should play this. Then I try to explain it to people and nobody ever wants to play
No,
this.
I want to play this.
No, I'm joking.
It's the non-Uwe Rosenberg Uwe Rosenberg.
That's right.
But what a stressful life. Like the actual life of farmers who this game is based off of.
That's right.
Like this theme comes from somewhere. Like you don't come up with this mechanism if it's not real. And so it's like, these poor guys who live by,
Dutch.
who just live by the ocean. What a beautiful view.
That's right.
Oh, Bertha's dead. There she goes floating by the window.
That's right. Tulips in the spring, but man, winters are rough.
Yeah, that's right.
Number 9 that does a similar type thing, which I think is what I like it.
Okay.
Praga Caput Regni.
Whoa! Praga Caput Regni made it to number 9!
Yeah, so, this is it's a cool game,
Now I could, resonate with some of these, maybe. I played this.
That's right.
See, but we did it before.
That's right.
I haven't played any of these heavier Euros, but yeah.
That's right. So, so this is a game where, yes, you're spinning this, wheel thing, and you're doing some actions. Each of the actions kind of leads you somewhere else. Like, you go up on the red track, and you're building castles or something like that. And so you move up this red track, but as you move up the red track, it's like, hey, your blue buildings are worth more. It's like, what?
Yes,
I haven't built any blue buildings. It's like, well, I guess I spend so much effort moving up this red track, I guess I better start.
Yes.
So then you move up the blue track, and the blue track's like, hey, now your red buildings are worth something. You're like, should I go back to building red buildings? I'm confused.
For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
That's right. Exactly. I like that tension. I like what that creates. And then eggs. Eggs, because apparently eggs are really useful for building bridges. Don't ask me. I still am confused.
Well, it's just historically that's what they did.
They used eggs for mortar, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't.
It was part of. It wasn't just eggs.
I don't know. One day I'm going to try to build a house out of just eggs.
Okay.
I'm just going to take a bunch of eggs.
That's not the lesson.
Squish it between bricks and see what happens.
That's not the lesson from here, but okay, sure. Oh, this is an excellent pick. I'm confused about what I think about Praga Caput Regni because I really enjoy it, and every time I think about it, I rated it my best of the month last month. Mm-hmm. But like when I'm ranking my games, I'm not like it's still a little heavy for me, and that it feels like work when I think about it.
That's right.
But it's fun work. Mm-hmm. But it's like you gotta work that stuff together. It's generous. It's a generous heavy euro where it's giving you points and bonuses for everything you do. But at the same time, like someone who's better than you at it is just like they're lapping you on that score track, and you're just like, oh, I'll feel bad about yourself. No, I really enjoy this game. It's a brain burner.
Mm-hmm. Number 8, staying in the same family. We're going to go to Messina 1347.
Wow.
So this game...
Okay, start the tally. This is not only Father Greg's Top 10, but this is Vladimir Suchi's games ranked from worst to best.
So, spoiler alert, this is the last Vladimir Suchi on this list.
Oh, really? Okay, that's surprising.
So, yeah.
So, interesting. So you're with me that Praga is more preferred for you than Underwater Cities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Underwater Cities is still good.
Yeah, it's still good.
But Praga,
sure.
I prefer much more.
Yeah, that's good.
No, Messina 1347, I don't know what I like about this game. I think I like weird kind of like puzzles in games.
Yeah.
And there's just this weird thing where you're like moving these people around a district in your city and you're like unlocking little things. It's just like, I don't know. It's weird. It's puzzly. It's about the plague. There's rats. You have to like put people in quarantine, but they can work for you while they're in quarantine. Like sometimes they don't do anything, but sometimes you're like, hey, well, at least chop wood if you're going to be just sitting there. Might as well do something for me. And,
sure. And
so they go and do something, and eventually they come back to society, and you're like, hey, that's great. I don't know. I don't really know what I like about this game. I just know that this consistently comes out, I think, as my favorite of the Vladimir Suchi. Just edging out Praga by...
What's the number again? Messina?
1347.
Okay. Again,
It was a very good year. Actually a very bad year in Messina.
I hate games with numbers and dates.
That's right. Pulsar 2849. It just has all these weird years. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where he came up with these ideas.
Well, no surprise that Woodcraft didn't make this list.
Oh, Woodcraft. Don't get me started. That's on the bottom. It's below Shipyard.
Wow.
Shipyard's a piece of trash.
No, okay, well, there you go. There you go.
Number 7, Isle of Skye. Oh. So I don't know. This game, it's just fun, and anyone can do it. Like I brought this game, I showed it to people who are still pretty new into the hobby, but like they played Carcassonne, and I was like, sure, if you play Carcassonne, you could probably play Isle of Skye, and they did fine. Like it just it's tile placement. I like tiles. I like placing them. I like connecting roads. Something about that just feels good.
So I do have to play this again. Like I only played this once ages ago.
Okay.
I do have to give it a go.
Yeah, it's just an interesting kind of bidding mechanic where eventually, like sometimes you get bid out of tiles and you price them so high because you think nobody will ever pay that and you really want this tile for yourself, and somebody still buys it for you, and now you have $80 and you're like what the hell am I going to do with $80?
You can't do anything with it?
It's for some points at the end, but like that tile would have been worth a whole lot more.
So this is funny, right? Because this is Alexander Pfister before he was Alexander Pfister.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, this is like Broom Service, Isle of Skye, Oh My Goods, like like a weird
long before the days of Maracaibo.
Almost like a Phil Walker Harding type of designer. And then all of a sudden he's like, you know what? Let's hard right.
It's just heavy euros nonstop.
Yeah,
nonstop. Yeah. Number 6. This is a game, you know, sometimes you give me a bad rap, you know? Sometimes you say that I don't like your games. You know? And so
sometimes you say you don't like my game.
This is a game that is, I think, still in your collection. Maybe not. Maybe you got rid of it. I don't know. This is a game that was nominated for the Spiel des Jahres this year.
Yeah, okay.
And that is the Guild of Merchant Explorers.
Yes, I did get rid of that.
You did.
So no, this is one that you liked and I didn't like as much.
Oh man, I love this game. I don't know.
Wow, that's so high.
I don't know what it is about this game, but like I totally would vote for this for the Spiel, hands down.
Wow.
I don't even know if I've played any other games, but this is my favorite. Like, like it just, this
is just like it's so fiddly. You put your cubes out, you bump bump the table and everything's off.
I mean, sure, fair enough.
Like, fair enough. But it does have a cool thing.
Yeah, basically you just have a map, and you're trying to get to different spots on the map, but you play a card, and one card lets you, like, move 3 spaces in a straight line. And the next one lets you, like, do some weird kind of diagonal pattern. And you're trying to stop at different spots. You're trying to, like, land on certain terrain tiles to get, like, different money or different resources that you need. You're trying to get points.
Build towers.
And so it's kind of like a roll and write, but you don't have to actually have to write. Like, you're just putting cubes on instead. I guess you could physically take a pen and, like,
well, the neat thing about the game is that your cards start as sort of like, you got kind of a standard hand of cards, and then you're able to add kind of like cooler cards into your...
Right. Kind of deck building or market buying kind of thing. Yeah. So where you're like, you're trading, drafting cards, and like adding them to your hand. Every time this game came up on Pup Meeple, I was just like, oh man, that was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed that game. A great sort of family style game. But yeah, you could play this with mostly anyone.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a hill, but this is a nice, and half hour, 45 minutes, it's good. Right.
Now we're getting into the top 5.
Oh, right, the actual good games. This is what we say, right?
Yeah, well, like Guild of Martial Explorers was fine, but it's no number 5, which is Quadropolis,
Wow.
So no Quadropolis.
Oldie but a goodie.
That's
there
right.
You go.
This is another game I have not played in a ton of time.
If you played it again, it would not make this list.
Some maybe not. Like, I don't know. I'm a bit of like some people like, the new game that they just played is like really high up. Me, I'm like a nostalgia guy.
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm going through my collection, I'm just like, you know what? That game was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's right.
And like maybe I would play it and I'd be like, oh yeah, Lowlands is really, really garbage. I like this game. But
that's right.
But I don't know. At least when I'm doing my things, I'm like, you know what? I haven't played this game in forever, but man, I still like it.
Right.
Still like it. Next up, number 4.
That was quick.
Yeah, I mean, to me, these 4. Okay, the next 4 I've talked about already. I don't know if they were in exactly this order. In the list last year, but maybe they are. So we can go through this. Pretty quickly, perhaps. 4, Heaven and Ale.
Okay.
Love Heaven and Ale. It's crunchy. It's super tight. This is the one time. Normally, I do not like games that are this punishing and this restrictive.
Right.
Games where you have $1 and you have to make miracles happen with that $1. But if there is a game that I want to play where I'm really punishing myself, it's Heaven and Ale.
Awesome.
It's a weird game to explain. You have to kind of explain the scoring first, and the scoring is the hardest part of the game to grasp. So you're like, okay, what you're trying to do is you're trying to move all these things up this marker track, but you got to get them at least as far as 0, sort of. But because at the end of the game, you're going to get a ratio, and you're going to get like 3-to-1. And so that means that you could put a resource down 1 space, 3 spaces, and move something up 1. But at the end of that, even if after you've done all that exchanging with a ratio, if you still have something that's lower than 0, you get 0 points. That sucks. So you definitely want to make sure that you don't do that. And by this point, they're like, what? I'm sorry, what ratio? Like, I'm very confused. You're just trying to move up on this track, but you got to make sure that you kind of move them up all at the same time. But you can have something below 0, but because you're going to get the ratio, so you're going to be able to kind of move it up. But like, it's good if you can get everything past 0, that's going to be the best. And if you kind of move everything up together, that's better than needing to use the ratio of like going down 3 and then 1. It's kind of, unnecessary. And then they're just like, what?
Like all of you.
That's right, exactly. I've done a horrible job explaining it, which is what I do every single time I try to explain this game.
So I owned this forever and never got it played. And so now, there's some games that we just need to plan, and now it's easier, which is nice. Right. It's like, okay, come over, bring Heaven and Ale, let's do this.
Right.
I'm excited for that.
Love Heaven and Ale. Number 3, Concordia.
Yeah, here it is.
Concordia, and I love it. I played with the solo expansion. Solo expansion's great. Still love this game. I don't know. It's kind of like not programming, but you play a card and then it's out of your hand until you rest and you take it back into your hand. So you kind of have to think okay, move my architect, then I'm going to build, then I'm going to trade for resources. Then I'm going to buy some cards.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, I don't have enough money. All right, well, I guess I have to rest early.
And so when you get cards, these are action cards as well?
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
That's right. So the first time you maybe play 4 or 5 cards, then you rest. But as you get more cards in your hand, you could play 10 cards before you have to rest.
Yeah, okay.
If you pick them right and you.
And so it's like Century Spice Road in that you just keep all the cards you get, like you.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, they never leave your hand, and each card scores you victory points as well, which is kind of another deceptive thing. This is another game that's a little bit hard because you don't score at all during the game. Like, the only scoring that happens is at the very end. There's a score track, but, like, you don't need it. Like, you could literally just take a piece of paper and write it all down. Because, you only score at the very end of the game. And so, which is kind of good sometimes because you don't really know if you're losing. I mean, when you have experience, you can be like, oh, yeah, damn, oh, God, you're doing terrible. But you don't want to tell him that. He thinks he's doing fine.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, cards are a big thing because each card that you have is going to score you points. According to some way, one card scores you points for having non-brick cities. The other one scores you points for being in lots of different provinces. The other card scores you points for having a lot of workers out on the board. The other, whatever. But each card scores you points. So buying extra cards is not only good that it gives you more actions, but it gives you more points.
Right.
But those points relate to how well you've done on the board. So it's like, well, okay, I have a bunch of cards, but they're not worth really anything unless I develop the board. But if I'm developing the board, I'm not buying a lot of cards.
Right.
So which one, what am I going to prioritize, right?
You love your seesaws, man.
Yeah, a little seesaw there. Another one. Number 2, I like trading and just trading different things. And this is Gugong. Every time I try to type it into my board game app, it comes out yielding no results because I don't put like the little weird accents on the U and the O and stuff like that. It's like, I don't see this game in your collection.
So this is crazy. Like, Gugong is like, it's good, it's well written, but like, it's in the 500, 600s or whatever. It's like, you like this a lot.
I do. I don't know. It's like, it's just a neat little thing. And I don't know, maybe this is a straight up Euro game. This is a point salad.
Yeah.
Just go to a spot of the board, do something, you'll get points for it in some way, shape, or form. But there's kind of this delight, I don't know, I think the theme kind of entices me, where it's like, when you go to the spot, you either like trade up, so you have like a card, like there's a card on the board and it's like a 3. So you're like, okay, I could put a 5, and as long as you put a 5, you get to like do the action. Like you sufficiently bribe the guard by giving him something better, and he gives you the little 3 back, and then you can do whatever the action of that spot is. You could help build the Great Wall, or move your guy around in the countryside, or do whatever. But sometimes you just offer a lower card, even though you're not going to get to do the main action, just because like, well, I could place a 1 there, but I'm getting an 8 back. And that's great. And 1s beat 9s, which is also great. So like somebody puts a 9 and you trade them for fruit, and it's like in the game it's like some fruit was really, really prized. It's like you take like somebody's got like a gold statue, you're like, I'll give you an apple, but it's really tasty. And the guy's like, sure. Like, sweet, I got a gold statue now. So yeah, I don't know. It's like a weird theme about like corrupt China, like you have to bribe people to get things done. But I don't know. The theme kind of carries me through this game, and
you know what? Another game I owned, and I went through a phase of buying heavier Euro games that I never got to the table. Now I'm in a phase of buying heavy Euro games that I might get to the table. At least now I know better not to get rid of them.
Finally, the last game. It's Village. Yeah, it's just a great game. Yes, YMCA. You're absolutely right. No, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a priest and there's a weird black bag that represents the church, and I just think, what better image of the church than a dark, ominous black bag that you throw your dude into it.
That's right.
You might never see him again. But, it's like, there's just like, it's cozy. It's like, it's a provincial life. You're just out in the countryside, a little small town, building the cart. Maybe you're going off to the big city. Maybe you have dreams of making it big in 12th century Europe. And you're going to go to Paris. be big hot shot. You know, or maybe you're just gonna be like,
you're a hot shot.
Or maybe you're just gonna drink yourself in the bar. I don't know.
Right.
You know, whatever. You could, but you know, as long as you die, you end up in the Chronicle, and people will know. Hey, that guy may have been a drunk, but he was the first drunk in that bar. And that's what matters.
And he could have been a hotshot.
So actually, if you die in the bar, you end up in the unmarked graves.
Oh, no.
Which is sad. But,
Oh,
you know.
no.
But yeah, if you're the first person to travel.
Prejudice, if you ask me.
Right. Prejudice against drugs.
That's right.
But I don't know. It's just me and Dad played this a long time ago. We played it horribly. I don't remember what we got wrong.
Something broke on us, and I was just like, whatever.
That's right.
Terrible mistake.
But he sold it. I went and bought it. I don't think I bought your copy. I just decided to buy it because I was like, there's still some. I realized I was playing. It's like, this game is good. I don't know what we did wrong.
Yes.
But this game is good. I love this game.
Awesome. Well, there you go, party people. Those are Father Greg's top 10 board games of all time ever. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of his list. And of course, as always, recommend games that you think he would like based on what he shared with us that he likes. Wow. Okay, party people, if you like this video, please press the like button, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and until next time, party people.
Have a great day.
Great day?
I said best day for the best of the month or something.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Have a top 10 day.